Hello again, fellow Vana'dielians, Riki here and welcome to another video. In this video I will go through where you can store various items, gear and other stuff. This might seem annoying, but at a certain point of the game you'll want to start storing different stuff all over on different NPCs. Otherwise you will most definitely run into inventory issues. So let's start with maybe the biggest one, the Porter Moogle. Here you can store some specific weapons, but mostly armor, artifact, relic, empyrean, ambuscade gear and all tiers of the gear mentioned pretty much, etc, etc. If you trade him your gear you can see which slip you need for it to be stored on. Porter Moogles are all over Vana'diel. To name a few, we have Selbina at I9, Mahura at I8, Rabao at G8 and in your Mog garden. More info about locations you can find down in the description. Trade the armor with the slip you took out and he'll keep it safe for you. Make sure you keep the slip somewhere safe, cause if you toss it, all your armor stored will be gone. You can also check online what items you can actually store on the Porter Moogle. There is a very useful add-on for the Porter Moogle called Porter Packer. It takes some setting up and getting used to. But if you take advantage of it, you can play almost every job in the game with max gear. I will link the add-on in the description below. Next, we have Fern, Top and Pellucid Stones from Reisenjima. Note that if you store these, you can't retrieve them, you can only use them to augment. You can store up to 250 each at Awesome in Norg at I7. Next we have Shami in Port Juno at age 8. Here you can store up to 9,999 of each of these items, and the items are Beastman Seals, Kindred Seals, Kindred Crest, High Kindred's Crest and Sacred Kindred Crest. Next we have the Records of Eminence NPCs. You have 4 of them. One in Windrus Woods at Y10, one in Western Adulin at age 11, one in Bastock Markets at E11, one in Southern Sandoria at G10. Since everyone here listening are Sandorians for life, obviously this is the NPC you go to. Bagpipes baby. Anyways. You can store up to 999 copper vouchers at these NPCs. Next we have crystals and clusters. You can store these at the ephemeral Moogles. You will find them at basically every crafting guild or in your Mog garden. Next we have the Rem's Tales chapters. You can store all these and up to 255 each at Money Set in Port Juno at I8. Next we have silver vouchers. You can store these at Grayson in Lower Juno at G11. And the next one is gonna be all different kind of Mog Kupons. You can store these at the Dealer Moogles at Port Sandoria at I9, Port Bastock at L8, Port Windrust at F6, Chocobo Circuit at H8. Next we have Lebondopt and Pulchridopt wings, probably butchered that hardcore, like everything else you have to pronounce. You can store these at Lola in Eastern Adolin at G8. Next up is Mellidopt wings. You can store these at Lorissa via the question mark at I10 in Yorshia Weld. Next up are all kinds of Skirmish Stones. I'm not gonna list every stone obviously because there are a shit ton. But you can store these at Divini Gemini in Western Adolin at Y10. Next one is the Synthesis Focuser in Port Uno at G8. Here you can store your spheres, crystals, etc. for making your crafting shield. 255 of each. This might only be available at stage 4 crafting shield though. Next up is the Event Storage NPC, and here you can store your event reward items and some other stuff. You can find these guys at Port Uno Y8, Windress Waters North F8, Southern Sandoria F8, Port Bastock I11, at Ergan Whitegate I9. And the next one is kind of outdated, but you might find it useful for whatever reason. Here you can store your job specific equipment armor and some basic old armor sets and artifact armor sets. I would suggest using the ported Moogle for the AF though. There's a billion locations for these NPCs. I'll put a link for everything, including this, down in the description. I hope I have not missed something important. Other stuff that you want to keep or store that are not storable, you will have to send to a mule and store them there. This includes a lot of gear and also Abyssea seals, among other things. So even with all this, rest in peace inventory if you play multiple jobs with max gear. I'm really looking forward to Square Enix adding more wardrobes or whatever. One day. One day. So that's gonna be it for today, guys. Do you have any other tips or tricks that you might use, or anything else you would like to add or ask? Put it down in the comments. Also, if you have any suggestions on a guide or other video you may want to have, please let me know. If you are interested, I stream over on Twitch a few days a week, so make sure to check me out over there. Did you enjoy this video? Then gently press that like and the subscribe button, and leave a comment, or why not share it with your friends. And don't forget to hit that bell button so you get notified whenever I put up a new video. You don't want to miss out. Also, make sure to look me up on Twitter and other social media for other Final Fantasy XI related stuff. And feel free to donate if you found this helpful. All donations are helpful no matter if they are small or big. All info is going to be down in the description below. Thanks again, and I'll see you guys in Vana'diel.